5 opposition House of Representatives members from PDP and Labour parties defect to APC. Anti-corruption experts advocate publication of public contracts to curb corrupt practices. Plus, Minister of Health promises increased resources to primary health care.
Primary healthcare facilities that are now being reached on a regular basis with quarterly disbursement of resources through the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund.
Hello and welcome. This is the News Desk at 3 on NTA News 24. We are live in Abuja. I am Chinenye Nwoye. The federal government is to reinvigorate the National Addressing Council to overcome challenges associated with the addressing system in Nigeria. The decision was taken during a pre-meeting of the council chaired by Vice President Kashim Shettima at the Presidential Villa. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
This meeting is setting a stage for a new National Addressing Council, with the technical committee expected to be inaugurated next year to drive the country's agenda on planning, economic and financial inclusion, as well as ensuring an effective national addressing system. Underscoring the need for the immediate standardization of Nigeria's addressing system, Vice President Kashim Shettima described the move as essential for improving service delivery, enhancing urban planning, and driving economic growth. The Vice President decried the consequences of the current disorganized system, noting its impact on governance, logistics, and the financial inclusion of many Nigerians.
And this is more than complicated systematic addressing mapping. It undermines trust in address verification, and the consequences ripple far and wide. Inefficient governance, logistical bottlenecks, delayed emergency responses, and the exclusions of many Nigerians from the financial services.
Presentations were made by the National Identity Management Commission on enhancing the nation's address verification system and building a critical infrastructure for the National Addressing Database project, while the Nigeria Postal Service made a presentation on harmonizing the postcode with the National Addressing System, deploying the latest technology, particularly geolocating the physical addresses of Nigerians captured in the project. Leveraging opportunities in the national addressing system will fast-track government's vision of attaining inclusivity and economic prosperity, especially for Nigerians in the rural areas. From the State House, Abdurrahman Jibrila, NTA News.
5 opposition House of Representatives members from the People's Democratic Party and Labour Party have defected to the All Progressives Congress. The lawmakers, 4 from Labour Party and 1 from the People's Democratic Party, are Iheateke Ibori-Suenu from Delta State, Donatus Matthew from Kaduna State, Tochukwu Okere from Imo State, Akiba Basi from Cross River State, and Isosa Iyawe from Edo State. In their letters of defection read at Thursday's plenary by Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, the lawmakers cited alleged crises in their former political parties as reason for their decision to defect to the All Progressives Congress. National Assembly correspondent Mitaire Ikben reports that the House passed a resolution calling for the reduction of checkpoints along the Onitsha-Enugu Expressway. In commemoration of the 2024 International Anti-Corruption Day, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has held a town hall meeting in Abuja with stakeholders in the fight against corruption. Our correspondent, Tope Alabi, who was at the meeting, spoke with the EFCC head of media and publicity.
The town hall meeting is convened to bring together youth in an attempt to articulate proposals, to engineer discussions, and to mobilize a kind of unity of perspectives about what youth should do, what youth can do, and what youth must do in the fight against corruption.
And still on fighting corruption, experts are advocating publication of all public contracts and tackling with regard to procurement laws to curb corrupt practices in contract procurement. This was at an engagement with public procurement officers across the country held in Abuja. Joseph Osen reports that the forum is part of activities marking this year's International Anti-Corruption Day.
Picking on the condition persons with disability find themselves in Nigeria despite the persons with
practices in public offices. Data from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission shows that over 70% of corruption in Nigeria happens in procurement processes.
I would like to reference the EFCC chairman on his data, which talks about over 2.9 trillion naira, which goes into corruption in procurement space. If you look at the far-reaching impact of procurement, corruption which we face in our rural areas are from corrupt practices that tend from public contracts. So public projects, what you have seen in my community, like the bridges that needs to be built, the road, all our contracting process, consistency project, our contracting process.
This explains this interface between key anti-corruption fighters and public procurement officers in Nigeria.
In collaboration with the ICPC and other anti-corruption agencies, we realize that consistency projects are not properly utilized to the citizen. So that is why we emphasize the role of citizen in good governance. We need to engage with our representatives.
It has been recorded that 50% of women are seen to not be corrupt in public procurement, and this shows that when more women are involved in procurement, we have less corruption.
Lack of accountability and impunity to the stakeholders is contributing largely to corrupt practices in the country, as they suggest structures like an open contraction platform to enable the public access information that will enable them hold public officers accountable. In Abuja, Joseph Otsen, NTA News.
With more than 31 million Nigerians living with disability, issues of policy gap, barriers, equal opportunities, accessibility and discrimination are still on the front burner in attaining a sustainable future for persons with disability. These were the views of guests on Good Morning Nigeria while discussing inclusion and sustainable future for persons living with disabilities. Ibrahim Bello Gunda reports.
Picking on the condition persons with disability find themselves in Nigeria despite the Persons with Disability Act, among other measures, guests on Good Morning Nigeria say inclusion is still a challenge that need a holistic approach, while sharing their journey to disability and how they navigate life as a lesson for others. They highlight the need for sensitization to close the barrier and gap affecting persons with disability, provide equal opportunities, and advocacy against discrimination, among others.
You have different reactions from people around you, your colleagues in the office. Some accept you, but again, it depends on your own attitude, the way you see life, the way you react. So right from when I was still at home recuperating, when people would come around to see me, and some would come in weeping because they knew what I was. And I would say, hey, are you okay? What's wrong? Do I look like there's anything wrong with me? I am not disabled. I am differently abled.
For persons with disability, of course, the discrimination before, 10, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, you wouldn't see us on television, national television, So there's been some level of improvement.
They were unanimous on the need for enforcement of laws to ensure violators answer for their action or inaction.
In my office, we have a hotline in reporting, but we cannot just see something in the social media without a reporting. We have a reporting mechanism. National Commission for Persons with Disability, they have a director of enforcement and compliance, and they have a legal director. They have everything, and they have their hotline is 24 hours opening. It's another reporting mechanism. Why would
so as a commission, we're opening 6 zonal offices in the 6 geopolitical zones, and we're going to have offices in all the 36 states, including the FCT, and the over 774 local governments will have liaison offices in all of them. So that we will draw the government closer to the people. Then we can have a bottom-up approach.
Guests on the program stressed the need for both private and public sectors to be committed to the implementation of Persons with Disability Act by stopping discrimination in whatever guise, ensure accessibility, and accommodate Nigerians irrespective of their physical condition. In Abuja, Ibrahim Bello Gunda, NTA News.
The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, says the federal government will not relent in its efforts to improving the country's primary healthcare services. This was the minister's assurance in Bauchi while addressing Northern Traditional Leaders Committee on Primary Healthcare Delivery under the Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar III. Awal Abdullah.
Traditional leaders from the 19 northern states are members of the Committee on Primary Healthcare Delivery. They are to ensure effective mechanism that will make the primary healthcare delivery a success.
There are 8,800 primary healthcare facilities that are now being reached on a regular basis with quarterly disbursements of resources through the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund. And we've doubled, and we're going to continue to increase the resources that will go to those primary healthcare, which are in the communities that you superintend. And training of the health workers is on the way. 52,000 have been retrained all over Nigeria. And expanding immunization to protect our children from diphtheria, from pneumonia is ongoing.
We appreciate your contribution to the workings of this body. We can't do it alone. We have your support, and we appreciate your support. And for the state governors in the north in particular, we believe we'll continue to do the best we can.
The meeting has provided a platform for strategic review and analysis for an improved access to primary healthcare services.
I am pleased to inform you that our government is committed to revitalizing primary healthcare system in the state. To this end, government has been working diligently to strengthen our health infrastructure, including the renovation and equipping of our primary healthcare centers.
The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, has inaugurated a newly constructed office complex for the Bauchi State Primary Healthcare Development Agency and rehabilitated urban maternity clinic in Bauchi Metropolis. In Bauchi, Awal Abdullahi, NTA News.
This is the news desk at 3. We'll take a break here. Well, there'll be no news when we return. Do stay.
The Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Mohammed Idris, FNIPR, cordially invites Commissioners of Information and Orientation and Strategy, Permanent Secretaries, stakeholders in the information sector, public communication managers, marketing communicators, and the general public to the 48th edition of the National Council on Information and National Orientation, holding in Kaduna City, Kaduna State. The National Council is the highest policy decision body in the sector and is expected to deliberate on the theme, Enhancing Public Information Management for Inclusive Governance, with the renewed hope agenda in focus, and make critical decisions. The council meeting is scheduled as follows. Dates: 11th December 2024, arrival. 12th December 2024, technical sessions. 13th December 2024, council meetings. Venue: Hotel 17, number 6 Tafawa Balewa Way, Lafia Road, Kaduna City, Kaduna State. Time: 9 a.m. daily. Mrs. Comfort Ajiboye, Director, Overseeing Office of the Permanent Secretary. Announcer.
Many thanks for staying on. Resuscitating closed-down bakeries and sustaining functioning ones need holistic approach in providing alternative cost-effective sources of raw materials. National President, Association of Master Bakers and Caterers of Nigeria, Mansour Umar, stated this during the inauguration of executives of the association. Ibrahim Bello Gunda reports.
Bakers under the auspices of Association of Master Bakers and Caterers of Nigeria are facing numerous challenges to keep on producing despite increasing costs of raw materials and market forces affecting their production. To tackle this, among others, stakeholders gathered in Abuja to usher in new leadership that will pilot their affairs as well as find a common ground in addressing challenges confronting them. The executive members, who were elected by consensus, were administered the oath of office and allegiance by a legal practitioner, Labir Ahmad.
Do solemnly swear that I will be faithful.
Despite all odds, those that made an impact on the association and its members were recognized with various categories of awards.
All the ingredients of baking materials are increasing incessantly. No baker can plan for at least a week or talk less a month. If you buy whatever you buy today, when you go tomorrow or next tomorrow, you will still buy it on another price. The same price that you got it.
It's not easy out there because as we speak, a bag of flour is 64,000.
So I encourage us, let's continue to work together, and nobody is an island of knowledge. We don't know it all. If we see anything in the market, let us know. If anything needs our attention, let us know.
Speakers agree that members of the Association of Master Bakers and Caterers of Nigeria are facing one of the critical periods in the profession, with a call for collective action to see that no more bakery or business fold up. In Abuja, Ibrahim Bello Gunda, NTA News.
There is a thin line between beauty and culture, and for the organizers of the Afro Hair Culture and Beauty Festival, finding a balance where beauty and culture are simultaneously celebrated and appreciated, the concept of appreciating oneself, as well as embracing healthy lifestyles that help project the true nature of the African men and women, are some of the reasons for putting together the festival.
Hair Summit, the Afro Hair Culture and Beauty Festival, was sort of created to raise health awareness about the toxic chemicals in hair and beauty products, to promote the beauty in the African natural hair, and to encourage the local manufacture of healthy organic products. It's very okay to be African. It's very okay to have your natural hair, to embrace your texture, to embrace your skin color. It's okay. You know, however you look, there is no mistake. You're perfectly and wonderfully made.
A lot of producers in Nigeria who produce cosmetics do not have a standard operating procedure that is aligned with international best practices. So we need to now begin to drill down on how do we standardize the sector, especially the cosmetic sector, and what people put. You will find a lot of products when it comes to hair products that people call natural, that behind it, it's a lot of unnatural things.
The festival, which holds from 7th to 8th December this year, is the 6th in its series and will play host to beauty and cosmetology experts from across Africa. The National Environmental Standards and Regulations Enforcement Agency, NESRA, has released new environmental audit guidelines in line with international best practices. In a capacity building workshop organized for accredited NESRA consultants and staff, the Director General, Dr. Innocent Bariko, stated that the review is necessitated by the need to incorporate advanced techniques and technology as well as global trends on environmental audit.
Is the new trends, climate change, for example, circular economy. These are new issues. And beyond that, we also need to develop a template and protocol of penalties and behavior.
I'll say the new guidelines are comprehensive, but they are still precise and they are data-driven. Like we have said, the existing guidelines were not able to provide the data that was required to check the performance of an industry. But now with the new guidelines, we'll be focusing more on the data.
While unveiling the reviewed document, NESRA reiterated its mandate at ensuring that submitted audited reports are void of plagiarism and other malpractices, and called on consultants to ensure due diligence. You're watching the news desk at 3 on NTA News 24. Another look at our major stories. 5 opposition House of Representative members from PDP and Labour parties defect to APC. Anti-corruption experts advocate publication of public contracts to curb corrupt practices. Minister of Health promises increased resources to primary health care.
1,800 primary health care facilities that are now being reached on a regular basis with quarterly disbursements of resources through the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund.
It's glad to know you're still there. The power of public-private partnership in enhancing healthcare, education and services is beginning to yield results, especially tackling brain drain, reversing the trend and empowering more students to become medical doctors in the sector. This is as the University of Abuja unveils learning facilities donated to its College of Health Sciences by Alliance Hospital, Abuja, following an existing developmental collaboration. Tokbe Alabi reports.
As of August 2024, Nigeria has 43 fully accredited and 14 partially accredited medical and dental councils with an annual admission of 6,500 students. With a ratio of 36.6 medical doctors per 100,000 persons in Nigeria, far from World Health Organization standard. This partnership between University of Abuja and Alliance Hospital, a foremost Abuja-based multi-specialty private hospital, is to address critical needs in healthcare education and services in the institution, especially in the areas of teaching, research and service rendering.
I really want to thank you for your generosity and your commitment to enhancing education. Thank you so much.
This intervention is to support the college with the furnishing of 2 lecture rooms, each having 120 seats, as well as the electrification of the 500-seater capacity auditorium of the college and provision of air conditioners across the 3 facilities towards comfortable and uninterrupted learning.
He has helped us because, you see, we're going to have our reaccreditation next month. So this will help our reaccreditation bid. And with the issue of training the medical students, you know, they don't pay what we train them for because we don't charge fees. We only have service charges. I can't quantify what he has done.
They have been given a mandate to double their intake, but that will not happen without the Medical and Dental Council accrediting them. And part of the things they are looking for to be accredited is facilities. That's why we decided to upgrade. We furnished the hall and we brought in the electricity and stuff.
We're talking of people living in their droves today. What can you do? You can't stop anybody. But when you make the environment palatable, it will even attract people from out there to come back and want to come and give in their best.
In a significant move to enhance healthcare education and services, Abuja College of Health Sciences in November entered into a developmental partnership with Alliance Hospital. In Abuja, Tokbe Alabi, NTA News.
Federal government says it is committed to improving water resource management by increasing investment in the sector. Stakeholders are expected to set the pace after brainstorming on strategic approaches to ensure water resource management as well as food security. Halika Opanachi Ariwa reports.
Nigeria's water resources face numerous challenges, including climate change, population growth, and inadequate infrastructure. Minister of Water Resources, Joseph Usef, says there is need for integrated water resource management, emphasizing the interconnectedness of water, food, and energy security.
The importance of water cannot be emphasized, as it comes with a lot of benefits, be it in terms of food production, economic enhancement, job creation. It also has its negative impacts, as we have known, which floods is one of them.
Experts at the workshop highlighted the need to invest in water infrastructure, water conservation, and enhance stakeholders' engagements. They also underscored the importance of adopting a holistic approach in improving water resource management by assessing the impact of climate change, population growth, and economic developments.
UNESCO works to build the scientific knowledge base as well as development strategy to help countries manage their water resource in a sustainable way.
Let's work together to ensure a brighter and more secure future for Nigeria.
Over the next 4 years, from March 2024 to June 2028, this chair will serve as a beacon of knowledge and innovation.
Participants are of the view that this gathering will go a long way in improving their expertise in line with best practices. In Abuja, Alika Opanachi, Arua, NTA News.
And that's it on the news desk at 3 on NTA News 24. We thank you so much for being a part of it. I am Chinenye Mwe.